Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta here and welcome on day 2 of our Flower Craft Festival. Today I have a pleasure to introduce you to these beautiful papers which are designed by my lovely friend Monica, who is the originator behind this whole flower video collaboration. I will give you link down below in the description area to her channel as well as all the other channels of the lovely crafty ladies who are participating in this event. And I will also share with you the link to this flower collection which is designed by my friend Monica. And today I have a pleasure to play with this paper. However, this video it's gonna be a little collaboration not only with the videos but also with the papers. I'm gonna be using this lovely design, the one which I was sharing with you at the beginning, the very first one you can see here, and I will actually combine it with my own flowers which I've already have pre-cut. That's why I'm gonna be using Monica's paper and my own flowers, but in the next one of the next videos you will see more card made with the Monica's flowers as well. For my spinner card, I'm gonna be creating little card base, and I'm actually following the size of this little wire piece I have. This one is 18 centimeters, so I'm trying to make sure that my paper is slightly smaller, so I have two pieces of the wire sticking out from the sides. I'm not actually following any particular size, I'm just mainly eyeballing it just to make sure I have enough room for the wire to stick out on both sides of the paper. So I'm cutting myself mat and layer, and I'm actually scoring them both in half so they could be closed like a regular card base. Next thing I will need is 4 layering dies, and you don't really need a dice if you don't have the access to die cutting machine. You can also cut yourself like square pieces, that will be working as well, and the square shape it will be easy to cut from the from your card base as well by using some scissors or the X-Acto knife. I'm starting from marking the middle section of the card, and I'm just doing very lightweight a line with my pencil just so I could put this die exactly in the center. And as far as I'm sure this is the spellbinder die. It's very old set, but anything like a label shape or circular oval is just the shape has to be even, so when you fold it you have the exactly same thing on both sides. So that's the main thing you have to make sure you have. So here I've started from cutting the largest die on this front panel, and what you could see on the beginning when I was cutting this piece of the colored paper, I didn't cut it lengthwise. I just made sure that I have the nice edge on both sides, and then I trimmed the end both ends once I cut my design. Now I'm taking slightly smaller piece of the die, and I'm just cutting it both layers fold, just in case. I just want to make sure this once it's the card is fold, to have this nice even marry up edge. Now I'm taking smaller, so this is going to be the third small die to cut two blue labels, and then the fourth one, the smallest one, I'm using to die cut pieces from the design paper. And when you cut design paper, make sure you have the same orientation, because if you put the die wrong way around, you can have this distortion in the pattern. I also decide to use the fifth one with the very small elegant label, just to have a little bit of the white room, which will be a nice background for my floral composition. I have a little companion today in my craft room. This is my son Wojciech, who is now 7 years old. Many of you has been watching my channel since he was a very little, so I'm also finding it hard to believe that he is now 7. My friends, what I'm doing here, I take this piece of the wire and it's actually covered in like a green paint. So I use my scissors just to gently scrape around it right in the center, so I could actually set myself a center point. And then I've marked the center point on the blue label. Now I cut additional strip to create my hinges. And what I'm doing here, I just this is like half an inch size strip. I've scored it in half, and then I turn it upside down, and right next to my scoring line I made a very close line on the left and right. So you actually need to move it, not rely on the groove of your scoring board because they are too wide. I'm just making one line in the center, and then on the upper side I'm just doing very close line right next to it. This will help me to create this little hinge so my wire could move easily over there. Once my heat gun is heated up, I'm just adding a little piece of the hot glue just to adhere the wire, and I do find it that the hot glue is working the best here. So once I adhere it to one side, I'm adding a little bit of the extra glue here, and then I'm placing the other label from the top side. That way I have it nicely protected, and you just make sure that you use your bone folder just to press, especially in the area where you have this wire. And here I am just trimming this piece of the paper, and because my design is actually like a little chess design, I've decided to, marry it up. This way it will help me blend it even more, and once I adhere those hinges, it will be barely visible. Now, for the inside portion of the card, you can actually cut the same piece of the paper which you did on the front. However, I'm not cutting mine yet because I like to have my wishes pre-printed before I cut it. So that's why I'm leaving it unfinished, because later on, when the time will be for me to use this card, I can print the wishes and cut it and use this label to cut the aperture later on. So here I am adhering those two hinges, and I'm making sure I press firmly with my bone folder. That way I'm making sure that the wire is adhered properly, but at the same time it has enough room to move around. So here you can see the basic principle of the spinner mechanism I'm gonna be using. And now once I have it glued together with the wire, I can start up from dressing up my card. So here I am adhering this colorful paper on the front, and I would cut exactly the same piece on the inside portion, apart the fact I would just do it with the white paper with pre-printed wishes, which I've already mentioned. And now I am adding my labels to one side, and then I'm gonna be working on the floral composition. Before I'm actually gonna do so, I've decided to add a little handles for my spinner portion, and I thought I'm gonna be using very small circular dies, and I found this lovely die which has this kind of like a heart pattern embossed in the center of it. So this is what I'm gonna do now. And again, because I am securing my wire, I just want to do so with the help of the hot glue. And I'm sorry for a little rumble noises in the background, but that was my kitty who was actually coming here with the visit, and I just want to make sure that he is not disturbing us too much while I'm recording this voiceover. So once I adhere my handles, first layer with the blue color paper, and now I am adding those cute little buttons with embossed heart inside of them. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's very visible on the real life. Like once you put it all together, you can see all the embossing, and same way the lovely embossing from this little white label. And I just think that this is the element which actually adds lots of elegance to our project. So I'm just making sure that everything is spinning nicely, and now I'm gonna be working on the floral composition. The main thing to remember, and you don't have to put the flowers, that could be butterflies or anything else you want to put. You can put like a birthday wishes, and then like put the special number like 50 or 60 on the reverse. That could be a great idea for a birthday card or something. The only one thing you have to remember is make sure that your composition is not actually going outside the label. So that way, once you spin the handle and turn it upside down on the other side, nothing is catching on the card based on this aperture. So you just need to make sure you stay in the area of this label. As I've mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm using up my flowers, firstly because I already had them cut and I didn't have so much time today for recording the video. But when I saw the Monica papers, I just thought instantly, oh wow, this is gonna be completing the my blue flowers were gonna be matching here perfectly. Let me know what you think actually. But it's quite funny that we both design papers in the same color, but we couldn't see, like I didn't see Monica papers until I actually finished my first card, and the same she didn't see mine. So it's quite surprising that we went for the same shades of blue. Now I've printed myself a birthday wishes label because I thought it's kind of a universal to use, but you can add any other sentiment you would like. And then I'm gonna be building a little flower composition on the bottom of the card, so it's not gonna be too empty as well. And again, for all of my flowers, I am slightly shaping them in my fingers. I am adhering them with the hot glue, so they are staying flat, and this card will be a great idea for postage. But because I am gently lifting the petals by squeezing them in my fingers, they get a lot more dimension in comparison if I would just adhere them flat. I think it's just bring them to life a little bit more. The only one thing I want to tell you, just to remember, if you're going to be posting the card like that with the wire inside, make sure you actually place a little bit like a cardboard, or maybe like please do not bend, because if the card will get bent, the wire, it's not gonna be spinning properly. So this is only one thing to remember. You have to then secure it enough so it's not gonna be bending. Here is the final look of the card, how it's turned out, and I hope you will enjoy it. I'm also reminding everyone, and I encourage you to check the videos down below, because there's a whole list of the lovely videos from Benita, Katarina, Lisa, Mel, and 2 other Monicas for you to have more inspiration for the flowery spinner card. Thank you so very much everyone who's been watching, for all your comments, likes and shares, and I hope to see you shortly. I am wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed and bye bye.